Hey everybody, this is Dustin Puryear, founder Giant Rocket Ship. Welcome to my Autotask office hours. Every webcast, I focus on one specific need by the community on how to best solve that issue in Autotask. Today, I'm going to be talking about unwanted tickets. What do you do when you get spam tickets, duplicate tickets, when you need to merge tickets? How do you properly delete tickets? How do you ensure that your technicians are not deleting tickets that you may not have wanted deleted? We're going to walk through those scenarios, and I'm going to give you what I believe are the best practices for managing unwanted tickets. So I've broken this out into a couple of little mini sections. And the first thing is let's talk about deleting tickets. Now I'm going to share my screen. And per usual, if anybody is unable to see my screen, just let me know. All right, you should be seeing my auto task again. If you don't, let me know. Let me just move something to the side real quick. Move this over here. And yeah, perfect. All right, so now I should be sharing my auto task screen. If you cannot see it, please let me know. Okay, cool. So what we're going to be talking again is about how do we handle unwanted tickets. Now, typically what happens is a ticket comes in and what you see is your triage person or your tier one will see a ticket and they're not clear what to do with this thing. They're like, okay, well, let's just say this is spam. This is just a random email that wasn't really meant for our help desk. They're going to go to tools and delete. There's a problem there. You have no control over what's being deleted. And so this is actually a bad practice, right? So step one, unwanted ticket comes in, and just your front lines constantly deleting tickets. Almost guarantee you that a key ticket will be missed because when they're going to be really busy, they're not going to really be paying that much attention, unfortunately. And so we typically want a better process around that. Now, I want to remind everybody, Dustin, per your giant rocket ship, if you have any questions, just put those into the chat. All right. So the first thing we typically want to do is we want to go change your typical user to not be able to delete tickets. And that does put us in a place where we need to do something with those tickets. And I'm going to show you how to properly handle that. But what we want to do here is you want to go to your rank and file role. And I have a bunch broken out. And so for all your non-service managers, let's see, you would make sure, and I'm in roles instead of security classes. My bad. I just saw roles and I went for it. Security levels. All right. So what you want to do here is you want to go to the roles that you're using for your user for your rank and file technicians, and then your security level, and then go to service desk, and you want to disable their ability to delete tickets, right? That's probably the safest way to do it. Now, maybe you want your dispatcher or your service coordinator to be able to do it. Definitely your service manager. Almost never do you want a regular technician deleting tickets. So let's assume that has been done. All right, great. What do we do with the tickets now that we're not allowing our technicians to delete them? So the first solution here is you're going to create a spam queue, and we're going to walk through it, and then we're going to make it easy for people to code a ticket as spam. So let's go into my configuration, and here we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a new queue called spam. Spam. Or you can even call it the trash bin, right? Trash bin. And I think this is going to be good. Perfect. Now, let's see. We should have that here. It is active, so it's ready to go. All right, great. So we have our spam one. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to create a form or a speed code to make it easy on our dispatcher and technicians. And so we're going to call this spam. Available to everybody. And what we will do is now it's important. A lot of times you're going to want to change the ticket type and everything else. We're not going to worry about that. We're just going to change the queue and the status. So we're going to change the queue to spam, and we're going to change the status to complete. Now you might have a UDF or something that says is spam, but the queue itself is going to help you out. So now, whenever you come across what is the technician believes is a spam ticket, they're just going to do this. They're going to say, "Huh, well, I can't delete this puppy, but I can spam it out." And here you go, spam. So this is now spam. And notice it's going to move it to the spam folder or the queue and complete the ticket. And now it's moved out of the way, but you can undelete it as you want. So that's going to be solution number one to an unwanted ticket is using a trash bin or a spam queue to handle these unwanted tickets. The next thing we're going to talk about is how to merge. So I don't know that per se unwanted is the correct word for a ticket that needs to be merged, but you don't want duplicate tickets in your help desk. It's confusing to everybody. People are not going to know what ticket to respond to, where they put their time. It's going to make your help desk look busier than they really are, right? And so we want to merge that. The thing is, by default, the way you merge tickets in Autotask is not the best way. And the reason is it becomes very difficult for you to separate separate the two. Excuse me, I have sinus problems going nuts over here. All right. And so what we're going to want to do here is we're going to do some basic setup. Now, the first thing we want to make sure of, and it's already here, is that we want to queue. Let's see here. We want a queue called merge tickets. Now, whether you create this by yourself, for yourself, or if it's already there, let's make sure you have it created. Notice that there's not a system one. I just call it merge tickets. Now that's step one. So again, what happens when you do it by default is Autotask will merge the data and then it will close the old ticket. It won't delete it. And now you actually still have the old skeleton ticket in your help desk queue. And so if you wanted to run a report, how many tickets got created from a help desk over the past week, it counts the duplicate ticket, even though it merged the data to the other ticket. And so it just gives you bad numbers. You want to solve that. You do not want to use the default configuration. So what we're going to do here is after creating that merged ticket queue, we are going to go to features and settings, um, system settings, expand, and I'm just going to search for merge. You see this? You want to update this. We want to update this so that it sends the merged ticket, the old ticket that's just a skeleton of itself, into the merged queue, merged tickets, and click save. Notice we're overwriting a default system setting because this is not how it works by default. Here's the beauty of this solution. Now, whenever you merge the ticket, the skeleton ticket, the ticket that's kind of left over, is going to be merged or rather be moved into that merged queue. And so now you have good data in your help desk. You can do two queries that give you valid data. How many tickets did I have last week in my help desk? Now it will not count the duplicates. It will only count the correct tickets. And you can also now ask the question, how many tickets came in that were duplicates? And that can be done by counting the number of tickets created or moved into the queue last week. And so now when we do this tools and merge, it will work properly. The last thing I want to talk about is how do you handle the growing number of tickets in my trash bin folder or queue rather? And so my suggestion is on a monthly basis, you can have a recurring ticket auto task that just specifies for your service manager, go review that trash bin and delete all those tickets. But it also gives that service manager the ability to quality control what's being put in there. So maybe you want to do it weekly, or if you're super busy, daily. Make sure that no valid tickets were put into this trash bin. Otherwise, clear it out. That way, you have a better handle of what's in there, and you know if anything strange is being put into that queue. Also keeps it clean, and now you have a very rigid process because remember, we didn't disable our service manager from deleting tickets, just our technicians. And the role of Autotask or ConnectWise or any of those PSAs is to enforce an understood documented process. And so now you have a good process for unwanted tickets. It comes in, and your technician either spams it out to the trash bin or they merge it, which goes into the merge queue. And now your service manager, on a recurring basis, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, annually, is going to go through the trash bin queue, make sure no valid tickets were put in there, and then purge it to start the whole process over. Well documented, doesn't take much time at all to implement it, but it has crystal clarity to your entire team. So again, Dustin Puryear, Giant Rocket Ship. This is my input on the best practices for how to handle unwanted tickets and auto task. I hope you have a good week. Thank you.
The webinar has ended. Thank you for joining.